Dan from headmania.org. In this review, we're gonna talk about two noise cancelling earbuds. We're gonna talk about the Sony 1000 XM4s, right here, and the Bose Qc2. Why are we going to talk about this? You ask me. Some people, some audiophiles make fun of me because I'm going with Bose. Well, I do have other systems that I carry around with me, but sometimes it's tiring, like Lyric. Of course, when I go to the office, it's much easier, right? To get Lyric, I have the office here and stuff like that, no problem. But when I'm on the go, it's not that easy to carry like a big device like this, like a Shanling M8 or the big headphones. I also have the Jerry Harvey's V2 Pros. I had some other headphones as well. I actually have noise cancelling on very big headphones as well, like the Bati is the Sony XM5s, and I had the Momentum 3 in the past. I sold it. So why this, right? People say that, well, maybe I'm not an audiophile. Well, I think they're wrong. I'm really surprised by the quality you get from these headphones, both of them. Actually, it's very easy to, just think about it. I have kids. I need some quiet. This is why this is why I started to look on the noise cancelling headphones. I need some quiet, peace and quiet. So this helps a lot. So I started to look for the earbuds. I took them. I bought this, and I was really impressed. I was not expecting this. I was just playing around. When I did $200 or something like that when I bought them, then they sound amazing, right? You don't need any other device. You just connect it to your phones and that's it. This is wow, amazing because they sound really good. Yeah, of course you can go more than that in terms of sound quality, but whatever I threw of them, from rock and roll, classical music, electronic music, anything, they just sound good. I mean, they sound musical, they sound punchy, they have very good presence in voices, good textures, they have a decent soundstage, I don't feel that I'm missing a lot of detail or something like that. Actually, sometimes I'm impressed with the detail from something like this. The noise cancelling is pretty good for an earbud, right? And it helps me a lot, and I use them in past months, maybe on a daily basis, because they're also good with calls. I also use them in meetings. They are good for microphones in meetings as well, and phone calls. And so besides that, I listen to audiobooks, and I actually fell asleep with them quite often, because I have kids, and if they move around in the bed, I'm a very light sleeper and I wake up. So if I put this in my ear with noise cancelling, I have a very good chance of actually staying asleep. So improve my sleep life as well. I think they're really good. The bass is actually strong. It's punchy. The mid range again. It's really detailed. It has a good. It had good textures. Kind of a dark sound. The treble is. You could use some more sparkle there, but it's. I feel that. They're not annoyingly dark or anything. So it's kind of my type of sound. Also, in terms of when you read reviews and stuff like that, remembers something. They have EQ, and actually you can use the EQ to make them sound whatever you want, however you want. For example, maybe I can lower a bit the bass, add some mid-range or treble here. You can basically get them accustomed to whatever sound you prefer, right? The battery life is quite good. I think you can stick up to 8 hours and 24 or something hours with the case. The case, as you see, is quite small, and I love that. You have this on the go. You just put it in a pocket, you're off, right? And you don't have to carry anything else with you. And from my perspective, it's with kids and everything. Sometimes it's hard for me to, get another backpack for my audio system with big headphones or whatever. Even this sometimes is hard to take, and another headphones, in-ear headphones with wired with a wire. You need to. This is important because sometimes I'm listening to music or I'm actually listening to an audiobook or something like that, and they have the transparency mode, which is very important for my usage with kids, because sometimes I need to listen to them or talk to them, and or my wife and family and stuff like that, and I have to go in a transparent mode. So this is really important to me. I don't want to get them out every time and stuff like that, or have a wired or something like a brick in my lap and stuff like that. So this is, from my perspective, this is already really good sound on the go in a very small package. I love it. Now let's talk about these headphones. These are the Qc2 earbuds, the Bose. A good friend of mine actually recommended them, and I said, okay, let's try them out. So I bought them. What I like about them is that they're really comfortable. If you look at this, their normal earbuds, the headphone, the Sonys actually have the memory foam. From this perspective, the Sonys I had the impression that they do a better isolation, passive isolation, because of the memory foam. You just stick it in your ears, and it's quite good from that perspective, and they are stable. They don't feel with the Sonys that they will fall off. At the beginning, I had the impression, because they're quite, that's it, right? I had the impression they're not as stable as the Sony, and I thought that they might actually fall from the ear in a very easy manner. But I think it was just a matter of perception after I used the Sony, because this is actually, after I used them a lot, I mean, I felt that they're very comfortable. They kind of stick very well there. I haven't actually ran with any of them. I don't think necessarily they're good for running or stuff like that. But I have other headphones for that. But definitely interesting from this perspective. They are very comfortable, and then when you put it in the ear, they have a sound impulse that measures your ear, because the ears are different, the canals are different, and they do something there to make it sound better for your ears. I like that about them. Also, you have a sound application which is kind of buggy. It was hard to connect it the first time, because it connects actually to the case, not the headphones, and you have to put the headphones in, keep it connected, and to get the connection, you lose the connection. But at one point I managed to configure everything, and I added my settings there. Actually, I prefer them with 2 dBs down in the bass, 2 dBs up in the mid-range, and 2 dBs down in the treble, because this is closer to my preferences. I felt that, for example, the bass was a little bit too much from stock. The mid-range I wanted a little bit more, and the treble a bit less, because I found them a bit sharp. But let's go next to the noise cancelling. Wow, the noise cancelling is amazing. I actually I took them with the high-end Munich show, and I flew with them, and I was really impressed. I was not expecting. In the past, I was using big headphones, over-the-ear noise cancelling headphones. I was not expecting to have this level of noise cancelling with these small earbuds. It blew my mind. I mean, the quality there in terms of noise cancelling is just out of this world. You just have to get this with you. You get everything you want, right? You get noise cancelling, you get good quality music, and let's get to the sound, basically. The sound is a bit better than the Sonys. I mean, they're capable of more detail in all of the range. Especially the treble is considerably more detailed. They're not as dark as Sony's. They're capable of more detail there as well, but even in the other regions, the clarity is better. The leading edges of the instruments are clearer. They're not fuzzy. I'm not saying that this is fuzzy necessarily, but this is clearer. And the bass is also quite punchy. I mean, the Sonys as well, but they have more layers, more detail in the bass, and the mid-range. I mean, the mid-range seems to be quite capable of detail as well. To some degree, I felt like it's a bit more forward, but of course it depends on how you play around with the EQ as well. The soundstage is quite impressive. This is a major differentiator from Sony's as well, because the soundstage is something that I was not expecting to be as powerful and as big. And I mean, I listened to some classical music and I was seeing the instruments in space. You can see layers of music, you can pick up an instrument and focus on it much easier than with the Sonys. So I would say that this is another very good thing about the Bose. So sound, from the sound perspective overall, I think they're better than the Sonys. This is still a very fun, very engaging, very nice headphone. But I give this the upper hand to the Bose, and also the sound, the noise cancelling here is considerably better. However, they do have some issues. We discussed about the fact that you have the bugs in the application. After you get the settings there, you don't necessarily need to play around more. But the fact is that you can also you can switch modes by pressing on the long pressing on each earbud, and go from transparent mode or relax mode or whatever mode you set from the application. That's very important for me in my usage as well, so that's good. But I would say that something that is really annoying for me is that they have a small noise in the right channel. It's like a small buzz that's kind of present there randomly, or actually most of the time. And okay, if you get them for loud places, that is less. I mean, you might actually miss that. But if you're using it for, let's say, if you don't listen to anything, or it's a quiet passage in the sound, on the music, or whatever you're doing, it's kind of annoying, right? And the Sonys are dead quiet from this perspective. I appreciate that a lot. I hope that the Bose actually fixes this. One thing that, I mean, this is actually considered at one point to return them. Maybe that's defective unit, I don't know. But I consider one point to return them. For the moment, I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep them. But another thing that is important to note here is that these have LDAC codec. Then they have much higher bitrate capabilities than this, which only limit to AAC or actually SBC for the moment. I think they will get an upgrade to aptX. I'm not sure if it's HD or normal aptX. I hope they do, because even with the difference in bit range from the two, they still sound quite good, very good. But it will be interesting to see how they evolve here, and if you get that update or the firmware update that they were saying. By the way, I heard that the Sonys will soon launch the XM4s, 1000 XM5s actually, and I'm really curious about them. This is, I mean, I still like this a lot. If you want a stable product, no issues and stuff like that, Sonys have a better chance of achieving that for you. Also, they have a smaller package. The sound is very good as well, really enjoyable if you like this type of sound on this, but you can play around with the EQ and make it as your sound as well. The battery life is a little bit better here. It's 8 hours to 24, something like that. This is 6 hours to 20 something hours. I cannot say that I had problems with this. They were useful for me. I didn't have a point in time where I remained out of battery with any of them. Yeah, this is kind of my impression of both. I would say that we have actually reached a point in time where you can get a really good sound. You can enjoy a lot of things, even movies. Both are really good in movies, and especially these Sonys, I think, because they have a better, better punch, and you get more, you can get louder sound with that than the Bose. But they're really good sound. You can just put it in your pocket. You're on the go. You don't need anything else. I mean, you get the noise cancelling, you get the good sound quality, the small form factor, the just really good sound in your pocket. So that, from my perspective, I'm really glad that we reach this level of technology. So I'm curious to see how this evolves from now on. But yeah, this is my review. If you liked the review, please hit the like and subscribe button. Bye guys.